Raymond Reyes has served Spokane and the Coeur d'Alene tribe and the wider region for over 44 years. After years of teaching, public service, and leadership, he's now retired from his work as vice president at Gonzaga University. He's left a significant and enduring impact at Gonzaga as director of what was then called the Northwest Indian Technical Assistance Center, a founding member of the Center of the Study of Hate, and chief diversity officer. He's been an invaluable member of the Fig Trees board for many years. Welcome, Raymond.
Are you feeling the love? Do you feel the love? Put your hand on your heart. Feel your heartbeat. Do you feel your heartbeat? Are you alive? Yes. Is that good news? Yes. Say, I'm alive. I'm alive. Give me a thumbs up. Look at that thumb. Imagine this. There's a little south of 9 billion humanoids speaking over 6,000 languages on this planet, and nobody has the fingerprint that you're looking at right now. Are you unique? Yes. I'm unique. Look to your left. Look to your right. Are you surrounded by beauty? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Affirm it. The two people say, you're beautiful. Say that. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. So we've established that you are alive, and that's good news. You're unique, and you're surrounded by beauty. As the Dene people would say, the Navajo country, they'd say, walking in beauty, walk in beauty, walk in balance. That's what you're about. You have all the ingredients to transform, to be the great transformer. Do you not? Yes. You sure? Yes. Let's make sure. Repeat after me. In order to GET, you have to ASK. Oh, come on, say it with soul. Say it with conviction. In order to GET, you have to ASK. A bell is not a bell until you ring it. A song is not a song until you sing it. And love in your heart is not love until you give it. So let me ask, are we living in the times that we need to be more informed? Do I hear an amen to that? Amen. To be informed more? Yes. Are we living in the times when we need more inspiration? More, yes? Yes? Are we living in the times that we need to be more involved? Yes. Yes. To inform, to inspire, to involve. That is the soul DNA of the fig tree. Do you believe that? Did you hear the 4 relatives that gave voice to their lived experience? To their soul song? You know, an acorn doesn't have to make a choice or a commitment to be a towering grandfather oak tree, does it? A little kitty doesn't need to make a commitment and a choice to be an old fat cat sitting next to a wood stove on a cold, cold winter night. But those of us that have the thumbs, the cerebral cortex, we have to make a choice and a commitment to be human, or a reasonable facsimile of a human, do we not? Yeah, but it's a big but. Behold the underlying truth, but we need to make a choice and a commitment. In this historic moment, I want you to choose to give generously. In this historic moment, to commit to give. There was a man, he was here a number of years ago. Some of you know him. His name was Bill Nigmeyer. Did you know Bill Nigmeyer? He was a social justice activist in the Spokane community. Bill Kostelik is here. Him and I used to team teach a class together, and Bill used to come to that class all the time. And one time he said this to me. He said, you know, we have a Statue of Liberty on the East Coast. We ought to have a Statue of Responsibility on the West Coast. Let us be responsible for our freedom at this critical historic time in the journey of this continent, of this world. You can make a difference. You do make a difference. And I'm asking you to do more than you've ever done before. The Fig Tree established a Sustainability Endowment Fund at the last board meeting as an important step to assure the long-term viability and mission of the Fig Tree. You can contribute to that. Mary and the cadre of writers do what she calls peace journalism and solution journalism. Do we need that now more than ever? Yes. Let us midwife this new way of being together in community by how we give today. Does this work? Okay. 41 years of informing readers, and 4 of them that you heard this afternoon with the Wisdom Keepers. A prophetic voice in a time, in these times, to inspire. And nurturing the involvement engagement, walking the talk. Put your hands like this right here, just do this. To know the power of relationship that's in this room right now. Hug yourself. To care, to be inspired, to care about what you know and be responsible for that, as Bill said. And then you're not, just sit where you're sitting, because I don't have much time, but if you were standing, and my name is Raymond Reyes, RR, people used to call me Road Runner. I was a wannabe marathon runner at one time. Now I'm slow as a turtle. You go like this and say, to act, to act, to act. Yes, now's the time to act. And here are ways you can help. Right here, right here. These are just some of the ideas and suggestions on where your money goes and can support the work of the Fig Tree. As simple as you can see, they're supporting connecting people together, like today. Did you have a good time today? Are you having a good time today? Yeah. Isn't it cool? It's like a reunion, isn't it? Seeing people you haven't seen in a long time? Yes. See, many of the ways you can give through the publishing of the resource guide, the newspaper, and different levels of support yield different ways of supporting that kind of productivity. And it's important now on your tables, there's a conduit. It's called an envelope. And you have plastic in your pocket, I'm sure, or checks, right? Now's the time to walk the talk. I just want to say one final thing, and then I'll get out of the way. There is a man, his name is Brian Steverson. He's an attorney, a law activist. And I heard him speak one time, and he reminded me of what Mary does and her cadre of staff and volunteers. He said that it's important when you do social justice work and you interface with the faith communities to do 4 things. He said, proximity, keep close to the issues and the challenges and opportunities. And that's what the type of journalism that the Fig Tree does. It keeps us close to the issues and to the challenges. Proximity. Change the narrative. We need to change the narrative. Disturb the peace by reimagining a different story. And protect our hopefulness. Practical hope, not flying kites, but the type that stretches us, kind of intercultural yoga in a way. It imagines ourselves to be as high as the sky, but with feet of clay. And the last thing he said, and it's an important one, and particularly we're having practice with this one, the 4th one he said is to choose to be uncomfortable, to get out of our comfort zone, to choose to be uncomfortable. Because when you're a fat snake on a hot rock, you have no intrinsic motivation to move or change, not motivated at all. But when you're uncomfortable, you're going to wiggle and you're going to move. So Mary, staff, volunteers, thank you for what you do. People, show me the money.
As you're considering how to give financially, also don't forget at the bottom of the form there's how you might contribute in volunteer kind of capacity. So there are different ways to volunteer to support the fig tree.